Attention, the following is not a paid advertisement. Today's free health presentation is of vital importance for women and men of all ages who want to lose at least 10 pounds of weight quickly, safely, and naturally. And, most importantly, keep the weight off forever. The breakthrough weight loss and health facts you're about to learn will be shared by a panel of 3 international best-selling weight loss authors and health advocates, each of whom are internationally recognized nutrition experts that have individually helped hundreds of thousands of people lose weight fast in over 200 countries across the globe. Joining you today is your distinguished panel of best-selling weight loss authors, John Barbin, Brad Pilon, and Kyle Leon.
Hi, it's John here, and in today's short presentation, you're going to see what leading doctors, scientists, and nutritionists now consider to be the one single element responsible for all Western weight gain and over 170 different diseases. The same one thing that Rice University microbiologists estimate to be keeping over 250 million Americans overweight, sick, and lethargic right now. And what Dr. David Perlmutter, author of the New York Times bestseller Grain Brain and top advisor to television's Dr. Oz, states in reference to this same element, those of us that deal with this health condition in a clinical setting are witnessing what now seems to be almost epidemic. Plus, you'll also see what new research shows to be the single worst food for weight gain, along with which vegetables doctors recommend that you must avoid in order to experience long-term weight loss. And not only that, my colleagues and I are extremely excited to share with you today revolutionary fat-burning tips that will dramatically increase your metabolism, fat loss, energy, focus, immune system, and overall health. These are easy to implement tips that will allow you to start enjoying daily cheat foods and even alcohol while still experiencing the fastest, healthiest fat loss of your life without having to count calories, eat tasteless diet foods, or do any cardio whatsoever. And although you may think you've heard or tried it all when it comes to weight loss, I promise you've never seen anything like this before. And I guarantee you're about to be completely amazed. Just make sure to watch this presentation until the end now and share it with family and friends that it can help today, because it will not be available online or free for long. With that being said, it's extremely important to make something perfectly clear before we continue. It's of utmost importance to this panel that you can verify the unusual fat loss tips that you're about to learn, although very surprising, are based on 100% factual, credible, cutting-edge science, not opinion. And that's why underneath this health presentation, you'll find referenced every single medical, scientific, peer-reviewed, and proven research study from which your tips are based on. With all of the misinformation, marketing hype, and confusion out there in this day and age, I understand the frustration and skepticism you might rightfully feel towards the weight loss industry. I personally know those feelings all too well. You see, although I've been able to help transform a countless number of good folks all over the world into healthy, fat-burning machines via internationally acclaimed nutrition strategies, I wasn't always known or recognized for being a fat loss author. And I sure didn't look like anyone you'd ever want to take fat loss advice from. In fact, for many years before discovering the strategies you're going to learn, I suffered greatly from the inability to lose my own health-derailing, unattractive body fat even after trying every single diet, exercise program, and weight loss pill. And after going so far as starving myself without my fat stores budging, I'll admit I lived with the inner belief that having a lean, desirable body wasn't going to be possible no matter how hard I tried. And if you've ever felt like this, you probably know the toll it can take on your self-esteem and your relationships like it did for me. Fact is, struggling with your weight can leave you feeling angry, frustrated, and alone while negatively affecting every aspect of your life. And the multi-billion-dollar weight loss industry and the money-hungry food industry constantly bombarding us with crap just makes things terribly worse and even more confusing. And that's why, even with our panel's 30-plus years of dedication to the study of fat loss in the human body and the hundreds of thousands of real people we've helped experience life-changing fat loss, we know your trust can't be given lightly. You deserve to know that the advice you're following is based on proven facts so that you avoid continued disappointment. With that being said, listen closely to what my good friend, fat loss expert, and international best-selling weight loss author Kyle Leon will now share, because it will be the most important fat loss information you ever hear. Kyle will be sharing what new research proves to be the single element responsible for the epidemic of Western weight gain, your body's inability to burn fat, and over 170 different diseases.
Thank you, John. Hi, let's get right into the vital information you need to know. Newest research proves that virtually everything to do with weight gain and fat loss is directly related to what the medical community refers to as our second brain, or our GI tract. Your GI tract is home to your immune system and contains trillions of living bacteria. And believe it or not, science has recently proven that this bacteria is in control of virtually everything to do with your metabolism and your overall health. Now, everyone has a certain percentage of good bacteria, commonly referred to as probiotic, and a percentage of bad bacteria, known as pathogenic. The natural balance of good bacteria to bad bacteria in healthy people with efficient fat-burning metabolisms is 85% good to 15% bad. You know these types of people. They're the people that can seem to eat anything and always stay lean. Now, the following fact may be hard to swallow, so be ready. Science has recently discovered that virtually all overweight men and women have an excess of pathogenic bacteria and too little probiotic bacteria. And here's why that's very bad news. For starters, the excess pathogenic bacteria flat out cripples your metabolism. It quite literally hijacks and destroys your fat-burning hormones while sending your fat-storing hormones through the roof. This alone makes it impossible to burn fat and results in even the healthy food you're eating being turned into the unsightly flab you're so desperately trying to rid yourself of. And if you've ever felt like you're gaining weight even when you're eating next to nothing, this is, in all likelihood, the exact reason why. What's more is that you're hungrier than you should be, and for all of the wrong foods. And the reason why is quite startling. You see, the metabolism-slowing bad bacteria actually reprograms your taste buds and your brain to crave all of the foods that it needs to multiply. Yes, you heard that correctly. The bad bacteria in your gut is using your body as a restaurant and is quite literally making you crave the food that it wants and needs. And the more bad bacteria you have, the more cravings you get for all of the wrong foods. Foods that are literally feeding your bad bacteria and allowing them to multiply uncontrollably. Sugar is at the top of this list that your bad bacteria devours and multiplies on. If you've ever done that experiment in high school science class where you pour sugar on a petri dish in order to grow bacteria, that's exactly what's happening in your stomach right now. And unfortunately, multiple studies now prove artificial sweeteners to be even worse than sugar for fueling your bad bacteria and allowing it to terrorize your metabolism and your immune system. And even with the millions of dollars they have, the massive money-hungry food manufacturers will not be able to keep truths like this hidden for much longer. Truths that help explain why in the zero-calorie, diet soda age, the Western world is heavier and sicker than ever. There are also some other very surprising foods that you may think are healthy that are actually causing your fat-storing bacteria to flourish as well. Even some vegetables that we'll touch on shortly. Now, as odd as it sounds, the reality is every piece of food you eat feeds either your good bacteria or your bad bacteria before it even has a chance to nourish you. You're unknowingly experiencing an inner battle between your good and bad bacteria with each and every meal you consume. And your nutrition is vital in order to maintain the ideal ratio of good to bad bacteria, which is now being recognized as the single most important factor for being able to experience healthy, long-term weight loss. Unfortunately, in the modern Western diet that's dominated by processed, sugar-laden foods and chemicals that you're exposed to on a daily basis, a playground has been created for your fat-storing pathogenic bacteria to flourish uncontrollably. And we can't forget to mention what is one of the worst obesity-causing pathogenic bacteria multipliers of all: antibiotics. Study after study proves the rate of obesity to be rising parallel to the use of antibiotics because of this. Heck, farmers figured this out long ago when they realized they just have to pump their livestock full of antibiotics in order to fatten them up like crazy. These antibiotics fed to livestock, of course, end up finding their way into your GI tract, allowing your bad bacteria to flourish even more. And when your fat-storing, health-derailing bacteria is flourishing, it's not just a weight loss nightmare. it also kills your energy, focus, and immune system and leaves you feeling sluggish and extremely susceptible to sickness. As a matter of fact, science has directly linked over 170 different diseases to pathogenic bacteria imbalance. You see, in addition to struggling with your weight, other telltale signs you're suffering from this imbalance include, but are not limited to, gas, bloating, indigestion, constipation, IBS or diarrhea, acid reflux, frequent headaches, anxiety, trouble sleeping, low energy, and sugar cravings. And as if suffering from a fat-storing metabolism, hunger cravings, a damaged immune system, and feeling sick and tired all of the time isn't bad enough, it gets worse for women. Much worse. Doctors Caroline Dean and William Crook, in their recent book, The Yeast Connection and Women's Health, hit the nail on the head when referring to pathogenic bacteria in these terms. The number of women suffering in silence, not even knowing what is really wrong, and blaming themselves for failing is, I believe, literally numbered in the millions. Millions of women who can't lose weight and have no idea why. And as if this isn't bad enough, science has discovered that if you're experiencing this bacterial imbalance when you become pregnant, it's passed on to your child, resulting in your baby inheriting the same weight gain and health battles that you're fighting right now, along with being more prone to developmental disorders unless your imbalance is corrected first. It's like the studies that prove when a healthy, lean mouse is injected with pathogenic bacteria from an unhealthy fat mouse, it becomes fat and sick in no time. Dr. Natasha Campbell McBride, a world-leading medical authority in gut bacteria research, expresses this concern for women best when she says, "Mothers of my generation who have daughters who are growing up now is the time to assess your daughter, see what her gut flora is like. How is she doing before she's ready to conceive or have children? Prepare them for it to avoid the huge amount of grief in the family of having a grandchild with autism, hyperactivity, obsessive-compulsive disorder, or some other disorder." The truth is, you've either been born into this bacterial imbalance, or you're a victim of the modern Western environment that causes it. Either way, your struggle with your weight gain to this point is certainly not your fault. You see, your bacterial imbalance is the true reason why you're suffering with a slow, fat-storing metabolism, and nothing will work until it's corrected. And we're very excited to let you know there's a simple, breakthrough solution to kill off your excess fat-storing bacteria while completely resetting your GI tract to nature's intended balance. A balance dominated by your healthy, fat-burning bacteria. A balance that allows you to experience the fast, fat-burning metabolism, energy levels, vitality, and health that nature has always intended for you. Just for a second, picture how much leaner your stomach is and how amazing it feels when your body is no longer plagued by the very real fat-storing toxic state that it's in right now. I'd like to introduce you to our third panel member to show you exactly how you can make this your reality today. This gentleman has not only helped transform thousands of good folks around the world with his best-selling weight loss books, but he's a recognized authority in gut bacteria research. His name is Brad Pilon.
Thank you, Kyle. It's my great pleasure to now turn our presentation towards what is the only way that's ever been discovered to successfully destroy your excess pathogenic bacteria while multiplying your fat-burning probiotic bacteria. I'm referring to a breakthrough solution called microbiotic rebalancing. Microbiotic rebalancing consists of unusual yet extremely effective nutrition strategies that are the key to correcting your bacterial imbalance and creating a healthy, fat-burning metabolism and lifelong weight loss. These are the totally unique strategies this panel uses to help countless thousands of men and women experience rapid, long-term, and life-changing fat loss when absolutely nothing else works. Microbiotic rebalancing is the cornerstone of what is quite simply the most powerful natural fat-burning